A very good afternoon to everyone. So I warmly welcome you all to the second episode of Introduction to Philately. So to start off today's procedure, I would like to invite Chatil Dharmawardhana, the chairman of the Philatelic Club, to deliver the welcome speech on behalf of the Royal College Philatelic Club.
Thank you, Ayub. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Senior Master of Clubs and Societies, Mr. TDCP Amaratunga, Senior Games Master, Mr. M.M. Riaz, Senior Teacher in Charge, Mrs. Tushari Gunawardhana, and other teachers in charge. Our guest speaker for the day, Mr. Heshan Balasuriya, and my fellow Royalists. It is with great privilege that I welcome you all to this gathering this evening. Introduction to Philately is an annual project we conduct to enhance and improve the knowledge of young enthusiastic philatelists in order to become eminent in the future. But this year, adhering to the health regulations, we were restricted to conduct virtually via the Zoom platform. So here we are again at the second episode of the Introduction to Philately, where an eminent philatelist, alumni of Royal College, where he will be discussing his memories, past experiences on the topic of philately, while serving the Philatelic Club of Royal College as the 75th secretary during his tenure. First of all, I would like to welcome Mr. Heshan Balasuriya, who was a senior prefect in the year of 2020, captain of the Royal College squash team in the year of 2019, and most importantly, who was the 75th secretary of our prestigious club, the Philatelic Club. I myself, as the present chairman, is very much fortunate to work and gain experiences under his leadership back in the day, where I was holding the position of club organizer in the year of 2019. Also, I found the memories we had up to date. It was yours and Chanel Aya's guidance, commitment, and advice which led us here today. Because of the commitment and work you put in for the club during the past year, the Philatelic Club gained much recognition and thrived to move forward within and beyond the school community and elsewhere. Dear Aya, on behalf of the Philatelic Club of Royal College, I would like to welcome you to this gathering. Also, I would like to thank you for accepting our invitation without any hesitation to share valuable knowledge and experiences among our young philatelists. I hope the youngsters will be able to enhance their knowledge on the topic of philately and pretty much sure they will enjoy it. Thank you. With further ado, we will proceed with our today's agenda. Ayub, over to you.
Thank you, Chatil. So before we move on to our next procedure, I would like to give a small introduction about our guest speaker for the day, who is an eminent philatelist. So most of you all would know him and you would have worked with him as well. So Mr. Heshan Balasuriya. So he was the secretary of the Philatelic Club in 2019. He was a past board member of the Interact Club. He was captain of the Royal College squash team in 2018 and a prefect of Royal College in 2019. So now without any further ado, I'd like to hand over the proceedings to Heshan. Over to you, Ayub.
Thank you, Ayub, and thank you, Chatil, for that wonderful introduction. It was fun to hear about the stuff we have been through past years. A very good afternoon, boys. We have about, we roughly have about 70 participants on Zoom, I hope, over Facebook and YouTube. There's more. First of all, I would like to thank the Philatelic Club for having me here, and of course helping me to reminisce my days in school, and also giving me the opportunity to share my journey or rather my stories with y'all. So hello everyone, I'm Heshan Balasuriya. It's been roughly around 3 years since I've last spoken to y'all. Yeah, 2019. Yeah, last I had the meeting was at near Navarangala, grade 6. I'm sure most of y'all would have been there. It's been quite a familiar names, quite a number of familiar names over here. So yeah, I remember my school days like y'all. I've been sitting in front of either Navarangahala or whiteboard room, listening to a guest speaker, giving us more insights about the world philately. But the times have changed. So all these unprecedented times, we are still driving forward, moving forward, and we are connecting today through Zoom. I'm really happy to see the evaluation, or rather the change, which had taken place during from my time to Chatil's year. So it was my time, it was more about introduction to the world philately. And now they have thought forward, they have been innovative, and they are introducing a new concept, which is I would say the which goes as the guide to philately at Royal College, where past Royalists come and reminisce their memories in school career. So yeah, my session I'm planning on mainly focusing on how I started my Philatelic journey, and B, how we launched the stamp, the insights about it, and also I'm hoping to talk about my 3 years in board, which the years were 2017, 18, and 19, and how I started collecting notes and coins after few interests, and also a few interesting facts about notes and coins in Sri Lanka. So to start off, my journey actually started, my Philatelic journey, if I am to say that, my Philatelic journey started back in 2008. So like most of y'all, Philatelic journey began when I was in grade 3. That's 2008. Philatelic Club is a very special extracurricular activity in Royal College. It's been there for 75 years now. It's 78 years for this year, if I'm not mistaken. This being the only club you can be a part, or rather a member, from grade 3. It is also the only club which you get to be a part of the top board during the entire A-levels year. So that adds up to 12 good years in one club, or 12 good years with one set of people, which you will meet from grade 3 till you finish your A-levels. So I think I mentioned this in the earlier video as well. I joined the Philatelic Club mainly because I heard about it through the players in squash. So I was in the squash. I was playing squash since I was grade 3 to end of grade 2. I started playing squash. So I heard about Philately. So I was like, oh, okay, we'll go ahead, see. And also apart from that, my father also had a small collection of stamps. Just like most of y'all, my parents were involved in making the boards in the till about grade stamp exhibition boards till about grade 8. So I am assuming those who are feeling guilty at the moment are looking at your parents. If your mother or father's around, they are looking at them probably. Then slowly years went by and I was in the junior committee. That was when I was in grade 5, 6, 7, I was in the junior committee. Then the senior committee. The paths, that's where all the fun began actually for me, for my batch. Still remember the senior committee interview, which was the first proper interview that I have faced in my life, which I still remember up to this date, me going inside the junior gates, and the interview actually took place in the junior grounds, where for about good 5 days before the interview, I was trying to memorize all the past chairmans, past secretaries. This was during Shamilaya and Deshanaya's year. Shamila, I heard that I saw he was the guest speaker for the first lecture. So he was the one. He was the one who conducted the interview. So that was the first proper interview that I've ever had in my life. So a good fond memory of mine. So and then the board, I was in the board from 2017 onward, where I was the co-editor with Shena Lambavatta. And also in 2018, I was junior joint treasurer with again Shena, and I was the secretary 2019. So if I'm to share a few slides with y'all, which I made, hold on, give me a second, boys. Yes, I think I'm visible. Can I see my slides, boys?
Yes, sir, we can see us.
All right. So, so if I'm to talk about my year, as I mentioned earlier, we also had a introduction to Philately. The campaign went like this. So, as I mentioned earlier, it happened at the whiteboard room premises, where Mr. Darshan Ranatunga came. And if I'm to talk about Darshan Ranatunga, he was also a past alumni of our college, who's really friendly, who was really friendly throughout my year 2019. He was always there to guide us, help us, to educate us. So I heard y'all have the opportunity with him. I think if I'm to spoil a small spoiler alert, I heard that he's also going to be a part of a guest lecturer sooner or later. So he was always there for us. So he was the one who conducted the introduction to Philately lecture during 2019. So this was how we started. Even though today we are through Zoom, this was back then 2019. Where we conducted our lecture. So before any of this, in 2008, which the first year I started, where I began my Philatelic journey, I participated in a stamp exhibition, stamp designing competition, which I ended up winning. From that day onward, I was wondering why we keep a stamp exhibition competition. What happens to the stamp designs? Making the answer simple, in 2019, we managed to launch 2 stamps. Can anyone tell me for which events we launched the stamps for? Anyone?
To the exhibition that happens every year.
Sorry, Malla?
To the exhibition that's happened every year.
Yes, one was that. And we launched another stamp. A very special stamp for all of us, I guess. Anyone can go ahead with that question? Answer. So, okay. So the answer was for the 140th Battle of the Blues. And we should, as I mentioned, we launched 2 stamps for the 140th Battle of the Blues. And for the 140th Battle of the Blues, and for the 75th anniversary of the Philatelic Club. So for that, I still remember, along with Tusharimis, everyone in the board, mainly me, Shenal, Tenuka, Chandra, and Goodwill, at the back behind the line event after 2018 Philex. We were talking to ourselves about launching a stamp. We'll do it somehow. We didn't actually know the process of making it, but in order to learn, in order to learn, we were searching how the process happens. Actually, me and Sena got together. We were like talking, and we were trying to make an annual plan, which includes those 2 stamp launches. So launching a stamp, if I'm to go through the process, launching a stamp, the process is simple actually. Like all the projects we made a project to launch 2 stamps, and we got it signed by the principal, which I guess this was the most hardest process which we had to go through, because launching a stamp to commemorate something which is a school level thing is a big scale, mega scale. Hence, everyone's a bit hesitant. They didn't know how the process carries on. So for this, the first thing we did was we had a stamp designing competition to select the best suited design, and we said the best winner. The winner of the designing competition will be hosting the stamp. So our year, the stamp designing competition carried on like this at the grade 10. Still remember, we divided the entire school into 3 parts: primary, middle, and upper school. And out of which middle school, I still remember middle school, again, tamai binawe, from which the stamp was hosted. So yeah, so 140th Battle of the Blues stamp was launched. The stamp launch took place at the Skill Center. That was the 140th Battle of the Blues. And the 75th anniversary stamp was launched at Lionel Went, where the Postmaster General was the guest of honor, and the Minister of Postal Department was one of the chief guests for that evening. That's how we carried out our stamp launching process. So if I'm to take any few steps, we first made the proposal. Then we got it signed. Then we had our stamp designing competition, where with the help of the postal department, we did necessary amendments for the selected finalists, and we selected the best suited stamp to get printed, and we launched it. The stamp we launched for the 140 Battle of the Blues is shown below. I think you can see. Yeah, this was the stamp we launched for the 140th Battle of the Blues. So we made our own seal for that. This is the stamp. It's 25 rupees, and these were all of these images here are designed by very own Royalists, or I would say apema mallila thamai kare. Yes. So this was a 25 rupee stamp which we launched in 2019. This is the first day cover. Yes, this is the first day cover for the 140 Battle of the Blues. So the launch happened, as I mentioned, at the RSU Skill Center. The Postmaster General, right? Yeah. Postmaster General was the guest of honor that day. And for the 75th anniversary stamp, the Minister of Department of Stamps Post were the guest of honor. And another special highlight in my year, or rather 2019, would be that the launch of 2 postcards to celebrate the 75th birthday, which are also the first augmented reality postcards. So if I'm to talk about augmented reality, so when you scan the postcard, these are the postcards. This was the launching ceremony which happened with the principal, Riyas Tusharimesh, and this is Shenal and myself presenting the cards to principal, Mr. B. Abhiratna. So if I'm to talk about the speciality of these cards, this was the first postcard which we launched in Sri Lanka with augmented reality technology, which is a new technology back then. Even for now, the augmented reality technologies, is new. So what you can do is, when you have this postcard, when you scan, two different trailers will come to each card. So how cool would that be? Like if you are like, when you're holding the card, the 2 videos come across. So this was actually with the help of another all Royalist, who were really helpful with us during our. Apart from the stamp launch and of course Philex postcard launch, apart from that, another special highlight would be the 2017 for both me and Senal as the co-editors. We managed to pull off the first ever full size, when I say full size, an A4 size magazine to be launched as the 31st Philatelist. the 31st Philatelist. Can anyone tell me why Philatelist is so important for our college or the Philatelic Club of our college?
It's the oldest magazine, like Philatelic magazine in South Asia.
Yes, that's true. For those who don't know, Philatelist is the oldest continuous Philatelist magazine in South Asia. This year 2022 marks the 35th edition, if I'm not mistaken. And from 2017 onwards, from this magazine onwards, Shenal and I both were looking forward for a more nicer looking one than this one, because we were sure at that time nothing can beat this. But I would say fortunately. So in 2019, by ourselves and Buddin and Chandir as editors, we published 33rd Philatelist, which is even better because it looks better, and the complementary items we gave were even better, because one of the complimentary items were the stamp we launched for to mark the 75th anniversary of the Philatelic Club. So this was the entire pack which you were given at the Philex and inside our college to mark the 33rd Philatelist. So yeah, I think this year board has a benchmark to reach, and with this rate, how efficient they are, and how the way they work, I'm sure they'll catch us on that. But I guess the time will show us. So with all this, one of my favorite projects to be a part of is the field trip. So this is where my interest in the notes and coins started. So I joined the Philatelic Club even not knowing the meaning of the word philately. But eventually years passed on, and the club itself took us on a field trip. First, we went on our school buses. Fun. It's near the fort. This was the coin museum that we went. This was during Shamilaya's year. Shamila and Deshan, they are there, and I'm somewhere there. Yeah, I'm there. And so this was the first time that I participated in going to coin museum, and I think the first time the club also took us on a field trip. This trip was the reason that I started being more interested about notes and coins. So which I'll go through it later. So this was the first year, and then something I always wanted was during my year to take everyone to the coin museum to give them the same experience that we got. I think Shenal was there in the earlier picture. So we were able to actually pull it off. These were the people, those who went to these are the members, those who went to the coin museum during 2019 field trip. So I'm sure there are more familiar faces here, that those who have joined the meeting as well. So yeah, the field trip, like I mentioned earlier, field trip can be taken as a reason I started collecting notes and coins. So talking of notes and coins, for me, the notes and coins represents the history or the culture Sri Lanka has been through. From the King George six note collection till the newest editions of notes. I have almost all the collections. So the love for notes and coins started with that small field trip that Philatelic Club took me during 2030, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So with that, we have a small session. Like I'll ask you all about few interesting facts about notes and coins. So can anyone tell me what is the note which had the highest face value ever to be printed? highest face value. This was, I'll give you a hint. This was actually a currency note which didn't circulate among the general public. This was circulated among the banks itself. This the note was issued in 1940. I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 1940. So, anyone wanna go ahead with the answer? Any guesses? Boys. Yes, I've got the message. Yeah, yeah. Tharuk Das and Dulanjo. Yeah, it's the 10,000 rupee note, which this is the note, which during which was issued in 1940. So this is the King George VI, who's Elizabeth II's father, the king who was before Elizabeth, who's the current queen in England. So this was a note. This was actually not circulated among the general public. This was circulated more among the bank sector because 10,000 කියන්නේ ඒ කාලේ රටම සල්ලි දීලා ගන්න පුළුවන් ගාණක්. So nobody had this even up to date. Not even the central bank has an original copy of this. So those are like small facts. I have more. I'll go ahead. Those are the facts, like interesting facts about history, which we can showcase from our notes and coins. So if we are to talk about notes which were burnt, anyone know there have been 2 specific notes which were burnt? This happened during 1970. Anyone want to take a guess? Which were the specific notes which were burnt? Let's see. No, not 5,000 rupee note. Yeah, it's a 50 rupee note and a 100 rupee note. So it's a really interesting fact. It's a small dumb reason to burn the notes as well. But so the notes which were burnt are SWRD Bandaranaike's notes collection. So this actually issued during 1970s during his wife's prime ministerial years. The reason for the demolition was rather the reason to burn the notes were the hand being a political symbol. මේක ඔක්කොම අර මම අත් දෙක උස්සන් ඉන්නේ අතන එතකොට SLFP එකේ political symbol එක still it's the same because this design was considered as an election violation. So ඒක හින්දා they burnt all the 50 rupees and 100 rupee notes in 1970. Things like that. It's really interesting. So when we talk about SWRD Bandaranaike was assassinated, then comes his wife, then comes his daughter. Full interesting to even stamps goes as a same. If you are talking about Royal College stamp to celebrate the 150th anniversary Royal College. So something like that. So it goes like the history is being told through stamps and notes. That is why I loved being a philatelist, being in the Philatelic Club, as well as being a collector. So anyone know what are the perforated notes? This is also another interesting point. Perforated notes. It's like a stamp. Anyone can tell what a perforated note is? So yeah. So a perforator, yeah. No, other 200 rupee. That's called poly 200 rupee note was mali the polymer poly something which goes as polythene, something like that. Not the 200 rupee one. No, perforated note is a 5-cent note which was issued in 1942. So fun fact about this is one note, but make a stamp එකක් වගේ දෙකටම ඉතින් කඩන්න පුළුවන්. එක පැත්තක් 7.2යි එක පැත්ත 7.3යි. එතකොට ටෝටල් එක 7.5යි. ඒ වගේ කඩලා දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයාට ඕන නම් මේ කඩේකට ගිහිල්ලා මොනවා හරි බඩුවක් ගන්න ඕන 7.2කට ඒ 7.2 පැත්ත තරක් කඩලාට දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර 7.3 පාගා තියාගන්න. එහෙනම් so මේ එක note එකක් you can tear it apart to two sectors. One is 2 cents, one is 3 cents. Fun fact, sir. So yeah, even these, I'm sure most of our grandparents were during these times. So 1940s, normal like club was founded in 1944, 1942. Again, 2 years before, this note has been circulated. So yeah, so final 2 questions I have. How many commemorative coins have there been in Sri Lanka? You want to guess? Take a guess. Since independence, I would say. Yeah, since independence, how many commemorative coins have there been in Sri Lanka? No, way more than 3 coins. No. Commemorative, 50. A bit close. You can unmute the mic and talk also at the same time. Anyone want to take more guesses? 340. It's better. Okay. Okay. 52 points. No. So the answer is 76 in total. There have been 76 commemorative coins in Sri Lanka. Some are there, like R. Premadasa's coin. There have been 2 editions. No. Yeah, R. Premadasa's coin. There have been 2 editions. One is copper, one is gold. So ඒ වගේ ඔක්කොම එකතු කරලා ගත්තම there are 76 commemorative coins. So anyone can tell the highest valued coin in Sri Lanka at Central Bank as of now? I would say this was, I'll give you a small hint. This was launched during this year actually. Yeah, like 1.5 months ago. No, not the 20 rupee one. The highest valued coin in Sri Lanka. Highest valued, not the face value I'm talking about. Highest valued. No.
Is it a central bank coin?
Not the central bank coin. This is to celebrate something or rather commemorate something. This is to, the coin is, if I am to tell, the 65th anniversary of Sri Lanka-China diplomatic relationship. This is a gold coin, fully gold coin, which is worth 250,000 rupees. Imagine a coin, a small gold coin like this, worth of 250,000 rupees. Things like that, which are really interesting and which are really fascinating, can be found among the notes and coins, and of course through stamps. The history, the past, the past and the present have been told from these stamps, from these notes, from these coins. So yeah, likewise, like Yuddha Dinnama, there was another coin to celebrate, I think 1,000 rupee coin to celebrate the war, winning the war. So So things have been there, and I'm sure get your grandparents and if they have spares, they'll give you like more notes and coins, and you can even get together. Stamp exchange weeks in like y'all can like get together, exchange your notes and coins. Just a small hints that I'm giving the board, so they can organize like more events like that. Communicate even through social media. You will be able to find like a lot of things. I'm telling you all these like notes and coin stories because I was more interested from the day I went to the field trip. I was interested about the notes and coins. So I started collecting notes and coins. Then during even my board year, I was asking if I was actually we considered to have a small notes and coins exchange week, like stamp exchange week that we normally have. Actually, we couldn't pull it off because we had enough and more projects, which we had enough and more projects, and we actually couldn't pull it off. Otherwise, we could have. So having said that, for me, Philatelic Club or my journey in Philatelic Club has been a big part in my school career. Apart from my Scotch career, apart from my years in Junior Committee and Interact, Philatelic Club always had taken a special place in my heart. Time to that. So with that brings us to the end of the session. If you all have anything, just unmute your mic or you can drop a small chat in the chat box. That's it from my end. Thank you, guys. Stay safe.
Yeah, so boys, if you all have any questions to ask Heshan Ayya, make sure you drop a chat or you can unmute and talk as well. So yeah, we'll give you all a few minutes. If you all have any questions, just unmute or put it in the chat room.
How did you manage to balance being secretary? Yeah, how did you manage to balance being secretary of Philatelic Club and doing A-levels at the same time? If I'm to talk about my A-levels here, Malli, so during my A-levels here, I was in the Scotch. I was in the Scotch team. I was in the Senior Committee. At the same time, Interact Club till June. Senior Committee, the beginning of the year, the Philatelic Club. It was really hard to manage, but if I'm being honest with it, it was really hard. It's really hard. And sometimes I remember going for classes 3 months before A-levels, going for classes 10 p.m. in the night and having classes till 3 a.m. in the morning and coming back to school by 6:30 or 7 because I have to get something signed or something like that. So I had to go through a hard period. But A-levels I pulled off my A-levels within 3 months. Properly started studying by end of April after all the Senior Committee, after finishing off the 140th stamp launch. Started in the April end. I was doing commerce by that time, so I managed to pull off my A-levels with 2 A's and a B. So that was also like started studying after the end of latter part of A-level career. So I wouldn't say it was easy. It was hectic. I would say it was hectic, but if you have the will, you can pull it off easily. Just that you have to commit to what you do and do what you are doing properly. What is the coin that you would really like to have? What is the coin that you would really like to have? The coin that I would really like to have is in Sri Lanka. The coin would be R. Premdas's gold coin, which has only 100 mintage. Mintage is the capacity of the amount of number of coins that they have issued. So AKCI, that's the that's one of the two coins that I'm missing. So one coin is that 50 cent, which was issued in 1943, if I'm not mistaken. 1943. ඒක mintage එක මල්ලි 120යි. ඒක නෑ මං ගාව. And අනිත් coin එක තමයි which I don't have is the Premdasa's gold one, which has only 100 mintages. So that's it. What was it like being a senior prefect of Royal College? Being a senior prefect of Royal College, I can't tell you what it's like, man. You have to become a senior prefect of Royal College and see how it feels like. It's not easy to be a prefect. It's like technical, like you have given all the power in the world. It feels like you have given all the power in the world. You have to manage it properly without manipulating it and pass it down to the generations to come and look after it. That's I would say that's how it's been like a senior prefect of our college. So yeah. How do you manage to balance working in multiple clubs? So like I mentioned earlier, if you have the will, and let's take a day, an example. So you have 24 hours, right? Let's say you're still at school. So you have 6 hours of school every day. So that comes up to 18 hours more. Let's say you have 3 hours of practice. You are doing 1 sport or 2 sport, 3 hours to 4 hours of practice. Accumulates to 14 hours more. So you sleep 7 hours. So 8 hours, let's say, sleep 8 hours. You have 6 more hours. So out of that 6 hours, if you properly give priority to the ones those you have to prioritize, you will be able to easily balance working in multiple clubs, working in multiple sports, and pull off your A levels if you are willing to put the amount of time, effort, and commitment to it. Yeah. Hi, Kamali. So I think that's it, Ayub.
Okay, so thank you so much, Aya, for sharing all your experiences, and you've inspired us. Like, you've given us your turning point, which was the field trip, and I hope that we'll be able to give some of you all Maldives a turning point where we all will increase the interest you all have in notes or coins or stamps or whatever it is. So thank you so much, Aya, for guiding us, and like we'll for sure improve as a society and a community through what you've taught us today. And I also for sure learned a lot about notes today. I wasn't really familiar with all the facts you shared, but yeah, today was a great opportunity for me as well to learn. So once again, thank you so much, Aya. So as all things come to an end, I would like to invite Hasin Amradasa, the Secretary of the Royalists Club, to give the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. Senior Games Master, Mr. M.A.M. Riaz, Senior Master of Club and Society, Mr. TDCP Amaratunga, Teaching Charge and Teaching Charge, Mrs. Tushar Gunawardena, Assistant Teaching Charge, and all the students. Today we successfully held the second episode of Introduction to Philately, Reminiscing the History of Philatelic Club. Thank you, Mr. Heshan Balasuriya, for sharing with us your knowledge, experience gained as a philatelist. It was a wonderful opportunity for the students of Royal College. I think everyone learned a good lesson from your valuable insight. Thank you once again. At last but not least, I would like to thank the Executive Committee of Philatelic Club for their excellent contribution and dedication to succeed this year. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Hasnaya. So yeah, once again, thank you so much, Heshanaya, for being here with us today despite your busy schedule. And I'd like to thank everyone who was here today. Thank you so much. So that would end up our second episode. Thank you.